Welcome to the Health and Wealth Power Hour, the podcast that provides you with the knowledge and insights you need to achieve physical, mental, and financial well-being. I'm your host, Harlan Pickett, a business consultant who's passionate about helping people achieve a more balanced and healthier life. Each week, we'll deep dive into topics related to health and wealth, including retirement income planning, innovative healthcare solutions, alternative funded health plans, and specific actions individuals and business owners can take to gain control of their finances, have access to affordable quality health care, and achieve peace of mind. We'll also be joined by innovative experts who will share their knowledge and insights on prevalent topics. So, whether you're looking to grow your wealth or improve your health, you've come to the right place. Get ready to be informed, inspired, and empowered. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another episode of the Health and Wealth Power Hour. I am your host, Harlan Pickett. Great to have you with us today. How old are you? Have you waited your whole life to retire and realized, never really saved anything for retirement? That was silly. Guess I'm not retiring. Or did you make some poor decisions somewhere along the way and that nest egg got cracked? Kind of fell out onto the concrete and fried up and not even anything there anymore. Did you go through 2008 wondering, why is it going so far down? And did you make the horrible mistake of selling? Because you don't lose until you sell, and a lot of people did. Have you decided that crypto is your future and then found out this stuff is crazy? It's all over the place. Hey, maybe you're a crypto millionaire. I have a buddy that has done very, very well. But most folks, it comes and it goes. But did you know that there is a proven method that you can really have a retirement of your dreams, even if you're 50 or more, and it's not going to take you the next 30 years to build that? Yeah, we're not talking about retiring at 80, folks. We're talking about being able to retire and enjoy your retirement. I'm extremely honored and blessed today to have Dr. Fred Rouse with me. Fred has put together a very unique way of achieving your goals late in life towards retirement. He doesn't come into this blindly. He was in the financial services, a certified financial planner, in fact, for over 20 years, almost 30 years, and also is a veteran of U.S. Coast Guard. Fred, welcome aboard the Health and Wealth Power Hour. It is an honor to have you, sir.
Great to be here. I appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. I was absolutely intrigued right away whenever I saw that you obviously look at things very, very differently. You don't tell someone that, hey, you're 50, 55, you're just now thinking about this. I certainly can help you, but we're going to have to start with a couple $100,000. Now, on paper, that sounds really great, except if they had a couple $100,000, they were already saving for retirement. Most of these folks that we're talking about, small business owners, entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, they have not done anything, or if they have, there's just such a small amount that they feel like that it's hopeless for retirement. So talk a little bit about it, kind of where you began and how you saw that and what made you look for other solutions.
Entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, they've got a rough game. They work 50, 60 hours a week. They're always on. Their head hits the pillow when they're still worried about making calls or making payroll or something or other. And if they make any money at all, it goes back into the business. And they don't even think about retirement until they hit 55, 60 even, because they're busy working their business on a daily basis. So it's a really rough game for them. Now, I did my thing in the Coast Guard. 5 years search and rescue was lovely. Got out and played respiratory therapist for 10 years, and that was fine. Nice middle-class lifestyle. I mean, my dad was a carpet layer from South Philadelphia. Had 4 kids in a 2-bedroom house. I didn't come from money. But as I get married, I'm going to have a kid soon. I need more money. What am I going to do here? Financial services looked really interesting. So I went around and I looked in it. Here's some books. Read these books. Take the test and we'll make you a financial planner. Okay, that sounded interesting to me. I read the books. I took the test. And all of a sudden, I'm a financial planner. Selling 15 mutual funds and life insurance from Waddell & Reed. And I said, okay, I don't know a damn thing about money. I mean, I took the test. That was great, but I don't know anything about money. My clients knew more about money than I did. It was really scary. It was embarrassing. So it was commission only. So I had to do something. And I said, where do I learn about money at? Well, these CFP people, Certified Financial Planner people. Okay. They have a course. Okay, I'll take the course. Took me 5 years to get that designation. And nice enough people, they tell you about risk and investments and budgeting and taxes and long-term care stuff and all this good stuff. It's lovely stuff. And the bottom line is you get 8, 10, 12% on average, and you shave a percent or two off of somebody's taxes. And if they save early, they're going to be fine over a period of time. That sounded reasonable. I mean, I was young at the time. And about a year and a half into the program, I'm still studying, I ran across a trading program. And this was interesting because now I'm getting 20, 30% a month. That's a whole lot different than 8, 10, 12% a year. 20, 30% a month. Is this really possible? Is this legal? I kept doing it every month. I took a $5,000 account. I ran it up to $2 million in just 2 years. I said, wow, this is really good. None of 8, 10, 12%. Yeah. $5,000 at $2 million in 2 years. Oh, gee, I could retire sometime really, really soon. I should be able to double that now. I'll be really good then. I'll be in good shape. And I lost it in 6 months. And you not lose $2 million in 6 months and say, well, the sun's up. This is a great day. No, you stupid shit. What the hell's wrong with you? You lost $2 million in 6 months. You knew so much. I mean, why didn't you stop when you lost 1 million? But no, you knew what the market was going to do. You lost it all. And so quite happily, I stopped at zero. I didn't borrow money because some traders actually borrow money and they're in a really big hole. I just broke even. I lost it all. And it wasn't fun. But again, you spend time in the service and things don't work right. How do you accomplish the mission? Okay. Things are, as soon as you have a plan, okay, it's great on paper until you start doing things and then things change. What are you going to do now? So I lost a lot of money and I finished the CFP program. I got through. I mean, I had my tax and financial business because I quit selling mutual funds, life insurance, and annuities. Just there was the tax side of things. It was a little bit more honest anyway. And I did that. And then it took me 10 years. I kept the charts. I did something right. I made all that money. What did I do that was so wrong that I lost it all that quickly? And I'd already seen the no money down real estate. I've seen investing where you buy it here and you wait for it to go up and hopefully you get some dividends along the way and then you can sell it later and you make all this money. And all those things sounded good. But commodities was really, really interesting because I can control $30,000 worth of commodities for about $1,500. The leverage was phenomenal. Now you say the word commodities to any financial planner or anybody in financial services, and they say the same two things. It's too risky, you're going to lose all your money. That's all they know. They all say the same thing. They all went to the same school. I don't know what it is. Comes out of their method. They got the license and commodities, too risky, you're going to lose all your money. Well, they couldn't be completely wrong because I did lose all my money. I lost $2 million in 6 months. It wasn't fun. And so here I am. I get the system here. I need something. I need something that was simple because I was looking at charts and, an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours a day looking at charts. Well, if it goes here, if it goes there, I could do this, I could do the other. There was too much if. So it took me 10 years, $350,000 in my money, and I came up with a system. Really, really simple system. 2 lines. If the lines don't cross, you got the day off. If the lines cross, go down a trading checklist. Really, really simple. It's hard to screw it up. And so I did this thing. And in 2008, while the market was crashing, I took a $5,000 account. I ran it up to $50,000 that year while the market crashed. This is okay. This really actually works. I knew it sort of worked. I sort of felt that it was going to work. I mean, I had 10 years of research and testing, but now in real time, it worked. $5,000 in, $50,000 out. That's now 20, 30% return. That's a serious return.
That's a serious return. Yeah.
Can I do it again? Did it again. 2009, 2010. I'm still working with my small business people, 0 to 6 employees, blue collar types. That's where I came from. That's where I'm comfortable with. These people need help, and they can't get somebody with my background. Okay, they just can't afford them. Again, I got a PhD in taxation. It's lovely. I got a doctorate in business administration. I actually did a year of law school. Okay, I didn't want to be an attorney, but I didn't know how they think because they think differently. And so I did a lot of stuff, but that didn't help any of my students, my clients at all. And they were still doing 8, 10, 12%. And here they are, 50, 55, 60, and maybe they saved 100, 200, maybe $300,000. Maybe. They can't retire like that. It wasn't fun for them. And so I put my system on paper. I rolled it out in 2010, and I don't let everybody in. I don't sell it online. And if we ever get on a call together, they can't buy it on a call either. I refuse to do that. I hate the pressures of calls. So it's by application only, and they apply and we talk. And since they can't buy and I can't sell, we have an honest conversation and we see what their situation is. Is this really going to work for them or not? I know it works for me. It's worked for a number of my students, but it might not work for you. So that's what we flesh out on a call. And it's an interesting situation because, again, it's been working since 2008, 2010 with clients every year, triple digit returns, not one losing year.
So as someone is looking at this, and it's obviously not the traditional buy low, sell high, right? I mean, that's in the perfect world, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to, if you're playing the market, you buy low, you sell high. Obviously, there's a lot of other things in there. I'm making it kind of very basic there. But then there's a lot of, as you said, you've got a lot of stress. Even you before we got started, you're talking about day traders and how much stress there is in their life and what it's like to do that. That doesn't mean people can't be successful doing that. It means it's a whooping to do it. The one thing about this process is it's not that type of environment, correct?
Uh, that's exactly 100% correct. Um, I might not look it, but I'm 70 years old right now. And after you hit age 50, you figure out that you've got less time in front of you than you have behind you. And, what are you going to do with your time? And your time becomes more critical. The older you get, time is much more critical than anything else in your life. And what are you going to do with that? And how do you want to spend it? Who do you want to spend it with? Okay. I'm not going to get aggravated. I'm not going to spend it with a bunch of crazies. Okay. Um, Day traders, you mentioned day traders, and we talked before about day trading. And people making money day trading, some of them do. Ones that I've talked to haven't. Okay. They think they're making money. They make money for a month or 2 or 3 months, and then they lose it all. It's just part of the trading process. But you're stuck there for 2, 3, 4 hours every morning, day trading. I got water behind me. I like my water. I'm right on the bay. It's 15 feet from me at this point in time. I wake up in the morning, I get sunrise over the water. I turn around at the end of the day, I get sunset over the water. It's quiet. Me, my wife, and my puppy. I'm a happy camper. No stress, no crazies. So I don't do anything while markets are open. We only look at the system after the markets are closed. We're only there for a maximum of 4 days. The account only starts at 5, maybe $10,000 tops, not a dime more than 10. And then whenever you put a trade on, you're only risking between 3 or 5% of your account on any trade. It's hard to screw it up. It really is. Because the process. I mean, wherever you go, there's a McDonald's store someplace. You have one McDonald's store, another McDonald's store, get the same burger the whole time, every time. You could buy a McDonald's franchise right now. Costs about $1 million, $1.5 million or so. My McDonald's franchise, which isn't bad. Okay, if you got an extra $1 million, $1.5 million, or you can leverage it. Okay, and after you put in 50, 60, 70 hours a week doing all that McDonald's stuff, you net for the year maybe $120,000. What kind of return was that? Okay, 120 seems nice, but you put a lot of hours for that, and all the stress that was involved. It sucked up a year of your life for $120,000. Here, at the end of the day, 20 minutes a day, after market hours. I mean, there's only 20 commodities. You pick out whatever 2 you want. I don't care. They're lines in a chart. They go up, they go down. We make money both ways. I don't care. I'm not in love with the things. They're there to make me money. And life has to be simple. Okay. My goal, again, this is a strange thing I came up with years ago. I call it grave to life planning. And people, what the hell are you talking about? So financial planning is really strange. Grave to life planning. If you were to go into the grave today, what would you want people to have said about you? What would you want to accomplish with your life? It's really simple. It gets a lot of focus very quickly. And when you do that, all of a sudden, all that daily trash that sucks up all your time and I reach you during the day, did it help you get to where you wanted to go when you're actually in the grave? Most of it didn't. And
Right.
if it didn't, why bother to do it? So all of a sudden now, when you do grave to life planning, the clarity and single-mindedness of purpose in your life is really, really focused. And things don't aggravate you as much because you know they don't matter. They just don't matter.
So does someone need to be really thinking about retiring to make this work? And let me give you an example. We talked about this uh, earlier, and you mentioned it too. So someone, your solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, they're so busy doing all these other things, they're not thinking about retirement eh, until they're 50, 55 years old. Well, let's say there's someone out there listening right now, and they're not really thinking about retirement, but they all of a sudden hear this and they're 40 years old. Are they too young to start?
This gives people the option to retire. They don't have to retire. Retirement is different things to different people. Okay. Retirement is not, to me anyway, sitting in a rocking chair looking at Netflix. Okay. Retirement is doing whatever it is you want to do without worrying about the money. It's a really simple definition, it really is. And you can go into Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot, and who's working as registers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some 70-year-old guy or some 70-year-old woman? You think that's what they wanted to do when they were 40? No. And you ask them, well, I'm a people person. I want to get out of the house. That's really okay. If you had an extra $100,000 a year coming in, would you still be doing that job? Hell no. Hands down, every single hell no. So it's about the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can still get out of the house, right? You just don't have to. You actually just go to Walmart and visit everyone there instead of actually work.
They're actually punching the clock, yeah, and deal with all the crazy that have to walk through your register.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because unfortunately, in the last couple of years, my parents have spent some time in the hospital, and there's folks that volunteer, right? The lady running the gift shop, the folks at the front that help guide you to where you're supposed to go. Different little. These are the older folks that don't have to wear the orange vest at Home Depot or the blue vest at Walmart. They're actually volunteering their time because they are financially stable and they're still getting out of the house and they're still getting to do things, but they're not in a situation where they have to make money to make ends meet to pay their electricity bill or whatever that looks like. So that then brings up another point. Someone has retired. They're 70 years old even, and they've retired. And they're making it by, but they're not really where they want it to be. Is it too late for them to get into something like this?
If you're younger, you're looking for financial independence, okay, where you don't have to work as many hours at a job and you get to spend more time doing the things you want to do and with your family. When you're older, okay, you've already seen people who worked for 20, 30 years, retired, and then within a year or two, were back working. Again, they weren't working because they had nothing better to do. They needed the money. Now, are you ever too old? I've got one student. He was a retired civil engineer. He was 84 years old when he came under my program. 84. And he'd already been trading, actively trading for 5 years before he talked to me. And he said, Dr. Fred, I've been trading for a while now. I've never seen anything like this. None of my other programs ever did anything like this. And he's just thrilled to death. He was so thrilled and so happy, he referred his 60-year-old son to me. And I let him in the program because Dad referred him. It was okay. But that's the type of thing that happens. I got one guy been with me for about 4 years. He's retired doing $30,000 a month with the system. Started with a $5,000 account, doing $30,000 a month right now. Totally under his control. after market hours with no people. Life is good for him. I got one woman been with me for about 3 years, and she just posted in Facebook not too long ago that she's doing 85 to 90% winning trades. I mean, if you have a trading program, you're not losing trades. I don't care if God comes down from the heavens and sits on your table, you are not going to get 100% winning trades. You're going to have losing trades. But this woman, again, we focus on 70% minimum winning trades before we ever go anywhere near a live market. But she's doing 85 to 90% trades, winning trades. Life is good.
So let's look at that real quick. You said the number though is the average 70, or is that just what your goal is? My question really is it going to even out for her?
Okay. Uh, the program is a 9-week program. It takes an hour, 2 hours a week to learn the system. So not a lot of time, but sometime you're learning new job skills, basically. But, yeah, I've got all those designations. It's lovely. I mean, I got the PhD in taxation. I got the doctorate of business administration. I did the year in law school. All that stuff is really, really nice. I wrote books with Lisa Nichols and Jack Canfield and Brian Tracy. All that's really, really nice, but doesn't do anything for you. You can't spend any of that stuff. So the idea is that you need to prove the system works to yourself. I know it works. I've been doing this since 2008. But in the program, you prove to yourself that the system actually works. Then you forward test it in real time. When you can't cheat at all, you have to put a trade on today. You have to wait till tomorrow to find out what happened. You have to do that for 90 days. At the end of 90 days, you're still getting a minimum of 70% winning trades. Then and only then do you ever open up a live account and start trading with real money.
Okay.
It's too easy to lose money. And if you can't get 70% winning trades doing it that way, you got no business with a live account.
Yeah. So the training part of it gets you to that place before you're really risking anything, as it were.
Yeah, and when you risk it, how much risk if you already proved to yourself you had 70% winning trades?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 winning trades in a row, and you have a losing trade. And your losing trade, you don't lose much more than you had a winning trade. You're making money by default. We never chase the money. We just follow the process. The money's just a byproduct.
So who's not successful in this? Who have you seen that is there a certain type of personality or a certain type of person that is just not it's not a good fit for them? And I'm not trying to make a blanket statement, but people, is there certain kind of folks? I mean, obviously someone who doesn't listen and follow the system. But beyond, but kind of beyond that, is there something that you've seen where someone just didn't get it? Just didn't. I don't know a better way to ask the question, Fred. It's just there's always someone out there that could have been successful in something, but they just don't get it, or is, I guess, the best way to say it.
It's a good question, and that's why we do the call ahead of time. I mean, they can look at the program details online. I've got the trades posted online year to year, trade by trade. They're all posted, no big deal. And they see triple-digit returns. And then that's great, but you can't buy the program. Now you have to apply. And then we spend an hour on a call. And you can't buy anything on the call. During the call, you get a feel for me, I get a feel for you. Okay? Not everybody gets in. Some people are into the get rich quick thing. And they think, well, they can put more money in and make it go faster. No, it doesn't work that way. The only way it goes faster is when your performance increases. 70%, okay? You're doing only 2 commodities, 1 contract apiece. As you get better over time, okay, and your performance improves to 75% winning trades, then you double up. Same 2 commodities, only now you're doing 2 contracts at a time. So that's year number 2, basically. You're doing $60,000 to $100,000 a year in year number 2 with no people after market hours. That's pretty decent. Yeah, at some point in time, you fine tune a couple little things, and then you start trading when you're at 80% winning trades. You start going between 3 and 5 contracts at a time. Same 2 commodities, same 20 minutes a day, same 2 to 3 times a month on average. Now you're doing between $120,000 and $250,000 a year, 20 minutes a day. And I show them how to do it 100% tax-free with the IRS's blessing. So that's always a nice thing because it's all your money.
That's real nice.
If somebody thinks they can throw money into it, make it go faster, it doesn't work. Okay. I don't let a lot of traders in. I let some traders in, but not a lot. Traders by their nature want to do things constantly. Um, they buy trading programs looking for indicators and how many setups do I get? How many trading setups do I get? How many entry points did I find? And they scour the market every day for trades. What's hot today? Those people don't work out well because I have a slow system. We only trade 2 or 3 times a month. I got water to look at. I'm not spending my time looking at a computer screen. Okay. I want to have my tea in the morning. I want my wine in the afternoon. Okay. I'm not bothering looking at computer screens. 3 minutes is all I spend a day. Look at two charts. There's 2 lines in a chart. If they cross, I look at the chart. If they didn't cross, I got the day off. Life is good. I'll come back tomorrow and look at them again. Same process over and over and over again. It never changes. So traders, I'm really leery of. Other than that, we're pretty much okay. If people understand it's the process, you're not going to get rich overnight. Nothing works that way. If it did, we'd all be rich. But, the people are coming to me. They've been through the mill already. They've looked at cryptocurrencies, God forbid. Okay. They looked at no money down real estate. They looked at trading options or Forex. Okay. Another thing, no control over that at all. Okay. Here, just 2 commodities, only 20. You pick out wherever 2 you want. I mean, that's it. And you're old enough, you might have remember the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Great, great show on commodities. When you look at it in the eye of making money in commodity trading, that show makes a lot of sense. That covers a lot of commodity basics. Only we don't do any of that open cry garbage. I mean, it's all electronic at this point in time, which makes it really simple, which means I can put my trades on after the hours are closed. And when the brokerage opens the next day, whenever a price is hit, my trades are executed. Okay. I don't have to think about it. We're only in it for a maximum of 4 days. Most of the time, before you put your trade on, you already know where you're going to get your price target at, where you get out at, where you get in at the next day, and if it goes bad, where the loss is going to be. You know all that before you ever put a trade on. All that trading I did before, I had no idea. I had no idea. Well, it looks like it should do that, and it might do here. What is this looking might? I can't trade that stuff. Trading is real specific. I need a specific number. So now I have specific numbers, and they're just very repeatable. Life is simple. I like simple, if you couldn't tell.
So is there other, obviously you came up with this particular process years ago. Are there other people doing similar things that you've heard about?
Being in the business for a while, you see a number of things. And again, it took me 10 years of research. And during that 10 years on $350,000, I bought a lot of different people's programs. And they called them strategies and systems, but they weren't really systems because you couldn't get 10 people in the same room and get the same numbers. I can get 10 different students in 10 different cities, not talking to each other at all. Look at the same chart. Every one of them comes up with the exact same numbers. That's a system.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can't come up with the same numbers when you're in the same room, what kind of a system do you have?
Yeah, I mean, that's consistency, right? That is definitely a system. That's a program. And when you get that same thing over and over, then that proves it out. Now, so that brings to question of mine. You talked about this lady who's hitting the 80 to 90% success rate versus folks that are hitting the 70. What is she doing different? How is she getting there where other folks are kind of falling short then?
70% is the minimum that you need in order to even open an account. If
Okay.
you can't get 70% winning trades, you get no business near a live account. As you do the same things over and over again, it becomes second nature and it's easier. You buy a new car. Okay. First time you put your ass in the seat. Well, the seat's not right. I got to pull it, move it back. The back's not right. Okay. Where's the mirrors at? Okay. Where's the controls at? Okay. And it takes a while. In the car for 5 years, you need to turn the key, you're gone. Don't think about anything. Why? Doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know your car now. You also know when you turn a key and it doesn't sound right. Now, you might not be a certified mechanic and you might not be clairvoyant, but you can tell there's something not right with the car. because you know your car. That's why we only do two commodities, same two over and over and over again. When you have the same process with the same two commodities, it's hard to screw it up. You really got to go out of your way to screw it up. And so as you get better over time, it takes less time and you get better results. I mean, if you're 50, chances are you can walk at this point in time. But you see a newborn, they can't walk. Are they stupid? No, they just don't have the skills yet.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they take a step or two and fall down. Okay, well, quite happily, they don't give up. And they keep getting up and they take 3 or 4 steps and they fall down. And eventually, they turn into a kid. And all of a sudden, they're running up and down the yard. Did anything change? Their experience level changed. And it got easier because they kept doing the same thing over and over again. The process has not changed since 2008. And I have some students that come in and say, Dr. Fritz, this stuff still work. These charts are from 2008. Yes, it hasn't changed. Doesn't matter who's in office. Doesn't matter what goes on in the world. Doesn't matter what goes on in the economy. The process stayed the same because it took me 10 years to research something to come up with something really simple that would work consistently. And if you do the same process with the same two commodities that you actually know, you're going to pretty much get the same result every time.
So when let's go back to, you took $5,000, turned it into 2 million, and then you lost it in 6 months. And at the end of the day, what you learned is that you needed a process like the one that you created. But whenever you were going back and you were really diving into what did you do wrong, what are the key points? What are the key takeaways that you would like people to hear? Because I think sometimes these are the things that can transgress even whatever. What mistakes did you make there that people can take away, maybe not even from investing, but in life in general or even business in general?
Okay. Trading starts out as a strategy, an idea, a concept. And very quickly, it gets very, very emotional. And you're really tied into it emotionally. And I put that trader because I know it's going to go here. I'm going to wait until it gets all the way up here. I know it's going to go there. I don't care what all these analysts say. I know it's going to go here. And as a pro analyst, because half of them tell you one thing, half of them tell you a different thing. Okay. And then you're chasing all these different things, too many things. And you spend all this time and you overanalyze everything. So you got a number of problems along the way. And when you have those things, they just compound. And I don't know if you've ever taken a flight lesson or not, but a pilot can make, one mistake, no big deal. Make 2 mistakes, no big deal. 3 mistakes, he's dead. When you're flying a plane, you can't make 3 mistakes. You can make 1 mistake and recover, make 2 mistakes and recover. 3rd mistake, you're dead. So too many things going on, too emotionally involved. Now, how do you back out of the emotions? Took me 10 years to come up with the system. There's no emotions in it at all. Either the 2 lines crossed, they didn't cross. If they didn't cross, I get the day off. No big deal. I don't care. I know what the process is going to do over a period of time. Over any month, on average, per commodity, I'm going to trade, 2 to 6 times per month per commodity. That's it. Not a lot of trades. I don't have to trade every day. It's not my sole purpose in life is to trade. No. My sole purpose in life is to enjoy myself. What can I do and not have to worry about the money? And my goal at this point in time is, how am I going to get somebody to get, protect, and enjoy their money, their life, and their retirement? If they're sitting here for 4 hours a day, stressed over a chart, I don't care how much money they're making, they don't get to enjoy anything at all. Here, I get to enjoy my water. I'm a happy boy. I really am. And the commodities, the trading, it's just there off to the side. It's just something that happens by itself. 20 minutes a day, I can, and again, 20 minutes for a new student. My chart time is maybe 3 minutes a day right now. But I've been doing it since 2008. But if somebody comes in, it doesn't take that long to see, did the lines cross or not? You only look at 2 charts. If they didn't cross, you got the day off. If they crossed, we go down trading checklist. Bang, 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 bang. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we had a no here. No trade today. Come back tomorrow and look at it again. That's it.
I mean, yeah, it's funny. You say it, it just sounds so simple, and I'm sure that once you get to a certain point, it is. Uh, but it's also humorous that you brought in the emotion because there's no doubt that whether it's trading stock, whether it's trading crypto, or here's another one that's emotional, gambling, right? Gambling is it's all about emotion. I've lost 2 hands in a row. I've got to hit this next one. No, you don't. The old thing of, well, I'm due. Well, you're due for something, but
Yeah. Well, way back when they had newspapers and they had newspaper ads, um, I honestly forget the man's name, but he came up with the turtle system. And he went nationwide. He put little ads in classifieds, and he wanted to find people to trade his system. And most of the people I think he ended up with about 50 people. I'm not certain. Most of the people had a background in gambling because they understood percentages and odds. And he gave them each $100,000, told them to trade the system. He had an actual system. Okay. The system I couldn't trade, but okay, he actually made money. And these traders, when it traded in a range, they stayed there. When it broke out of that range, they put a trade on. Okay. Now, they could be down a drawdown of as much as 50 to 60% of their account value. Okay. So if you got $100,000, you could be on paper down $60,000. And you had to leave the trade on because it was part of the system. And on average, it would work out. Emotionally, people can't do that.
right.
People just cannot do that. Now, most of his people have went on to become major hedge fund managers, major traders in investment companies, okay, because of the experience they had there. But on an everyday basis, who could live through that? Okay. I was there when I lost all that money, and I'm up at 2, 3 in the morning checking live charts, and you get real religion real fast. Okay, because you're down $30,000. Oh God, please, I promise. I don't want to lose 30. If it comes back to 20, just come back to 20. Please, 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 please. I promise I won't do it again. I promise, I promise, I promise. Until the next time I do it again.
Right.
A lot of traders get a lot of religion real fast. Okay. No emotions down. 2 lines, that's it.
All right. So, but I've got to know, you lost $2 million in 6 months. Why didn't you sell anytime during that? Why did you let it go all the way to zero? Now you did the good thing. You mentioned you didn't borrow any money either and go negative. But why did you let it go all the way to zero? Why didn't you at least sell when there was $6,000 in there, so at least you made $1,000?
I knew what was going to happen with the market. I knew.
It was coming back, right?
And you
believed that it was coming back.
I knew more than the market did. Right now, I don't care what the market does. Okay. It's moving at 60 miles an hour. Okay. It can't stop in 10 feet. When your car is moving 60 miles an hour, it cannot stop in 10 feet. I'm just taking a little bite. That's it. Little bite and I'm gone. No stress. Consistent little bites and I'm gone. And that's the base of the system. Small, consistent bites. I mean, the trades are posted. I don't try to hide anything. The trades are all posted. I mean, financial planners, they hate me. You can't do that. Okay. Here's my 1-year returns. Where's your 3 and 5-year returns? I'll beat you every time, dollar for dollar. And they go run and hide. But they'll say whatever they want to say. But when it comes down to pointing to the numbers, here's my numbers. They're all posted online. Where's your 3 and 5-year returns? My 1-year returns beat you every time. Never fails. From 2008 to today. It's fun.
So since you started this, since you started getting students, not obviously not just you, but since you started getting students and training this program, how many people have gone through it? How many people are actively in the system?
Um, I think, I'm not certain, because the idea is, I show you how to trade. Okay. You learn how to trade, you make money, you move on, and I have a spot open for the next person because this is not my entire life. I enjoy my time. I also enjoy working with students. So maybe 500, 600 tops since
Okay.
2002. Yeah, not a lot
Okay.
of people. And that's a small program. I'm not looking to have a multi-million-dollar business and go do infomercials on TV or anything. I've run a small program. I enjoy my time, and if I can show somebody how to make some money along the way, that's great. Nobody ever complains they have too much money, too much food, too much sex. The shortage of those things drive people crazy, though.
That is true. That is true. All right, so you want to show them light of it. So you mentioned a few different times that a number of people have started out with just $5,000.
Mm,
Is that a minimum amount? I mean, I know that there is a process where people have to talk and you have to see what's right for you. I understand. But if someone's looking to do this, there's got to be some place to start, right? If I got a $20 bill, I'm probably not a good applicant for the program. But where does someone need to start minimum before they even start bothering you or knocking on your door?
if they can't afford to lose $5,000, okay, they shouldn't be talking to me.
Okay.
And that's a big thing. If they're worried about paying the rent or the utilities, okay, you're not fit. I mean, you have to be comfortable with where you're at. Now, I've got people that are making $40,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck. I got one guy making $450,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever lifestyle you happen to have. Okay, now, can you afford to lose $5,000 comfortably? Nobody enjoys losing money, but if you lost $5,000, would it change your lifestyle today? If it would, you're probably not going to be working well on the program because you'll be too stressed about it. If yeah, it would bother me, but I could still eat and live, and it wouldn't really change my life. Then you're okay.
Okay. And I asked that question because, as you mentioned earlier, a number of times when you talk to folks, yeah, obviously there's a lot of financial planners out there that unless you have $500,000, they even want to talk to you. They're not even going to mess with you. And then the other thing is, I'm sure that a number of people that are in my age group, how old am I? I'm 57. I had to ask that question because Friday I turned 58. So I had to think about, am I quite there yet? But, they're in my age group and they haven't saved anything. I mean, I still have a 401k from when I was in corporate America for a long time, and it's grown some. I should have done a whole lot more with it. I didn't. Um, I've got some other savings that we've done, but I haven't done it as much. But I have dabbled in fun little things like crypto, and someday if some of the things that I bought go up to like a penny, I'll be a millionaire. But whatever, yeah, I'm kind of laughing. Although I do have a good friend of mine that truly is a crypto millionaire. He did the right thing at the right time, and just one of those things. He's living that crypto lifestyle right now.
It happens,
It's
just not that many people. You can't duplicate it.
yeah, that's exactly right. You got to be in at the right time at the right thing, right? It's just he hit it. Um, Now what he does though, which is kind of cool too, is he sells kind of he does videos and you can join his crypto club and he can give you advice. And of course, there's no regulation there, so he can it's a nice little way to make a little bit of money because he's a crypto millionaire and he can tell you what he does and just tell you his story over and over and tell you what he thinks. And there's no there's no legal thing.
And there's no risk to him, and
That's right.
his people just come in because he made all that money, I should be able to do it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that glimmer of hope is what kills people because now they're emotional. They're emotionally involved instead of sitting back. Okay, he did it once. What do you do over a period of time? Can you duplicate it over a period of time? If you can, then maybe you got a system.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, mine has been up since 2008.
And he does talk about the fact that he has probably invested in, 20 different ones, and he had one that hit, unbelievably, and he had another one that hit pretty decently. Well, Bitcoin, and that's it. All the other ones, he's broke even or lost. But it was the thing, like you said, it was $5,000, and he could afford to lose $5,000, so he didn't care. I mean, he cared, but he didn't lose sleep at night and couldn't eat groceries that week or whatever. So anyway, it is an interesting thing. I think that when you get to a certain age, such as I am, you you want more of a sure thing, But the only time you hear the sure things is you're talking about numbers like 2, 3, 4%, right? And you're like, well, guess I'm not retiring till I'm 80. I'm never going to retire. And the stock market, while certainly you can hit, you can also get hit, as you pointed out in a number of different ways there. It's a very interesting concept that you have there, and I can certainly see a number of people that would be interested in the potential, including myself. I think I would like to talk to you and see if I'm a good candidate for it or not, because being on the podcast doesn't give you any indication I'm a good candidate for it or not. But it sounds certainly interesting, and I don't need anything else to take up any more of my time because I'm a busy guy. So something that could help me potentially retire or become financially independent sooner, to take my wife to Hawaii a little more often. We were going about 2 or 3 times a year, and now work has got us to where we haven't been in 2 years, and she's about to have a heart attack. Um, so I got to get her back to Hawaii. We are going next year though. Um, but I'm very interested myself, and I think there's a lot of folks out there that are in my situation and may own a small business as well. That there's two parts of this that they really like, Fred. One is the reliability of it, the fact that you're just doing the same process over and over, and that you get to have training wheels for a while before you actually get to take the training wheels off. You get to go through and learn the process. And then number two is it's not a huge time suck. It's not something that's going to be taking me 20, 30, 40 hours, even a month that I'm going to have to dedicate to it.
The other novel thing is, which is really a more concern than what people think, especially when they're 50 plus, is that they get to control this.
Yeah.
Unlike investments where you put it in and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You get to control when you put a trade on. And because you understand the process, you know exactly when you're getting in, where you're going to add it with a profit. And if the trade goes bad, where the loss is going to be. You know all that ahead of time. It's all under your control. And you have the final decision as to, do I put a trade on or not? You don't need to put it on every trade. If you're not happy with the trade, don't put it on. There's always another trade. There's always another trade. So it's not totally under your control. It means you get to sleep at night.
Yeah.
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 That peace of mind is really, really important.
I think you're on the money there, because at what you talked about earlier, that emotion that you tie to these things, especially whenever it's a negative emotion it's a positive emotion that's turned negative because your positive is going to go back up, but it's not yet. And so the negative just keeps wearing on you, and the loss of sleep and the wear on you that this does, there's no place for that. And our lives as solopreneurs and entrepreneurs and small business owners, there's no place in anyone's life for it. But let's be honest, some people chose that for a living, and that's just what they do. Maybe they're made for it, but those of us that do these type of things, we're not. We got enough worries of paying our own bills and worrying about our employees showing up for work and all those other things that we do.
You know, you hit age 50, your sleep patterns start to change anyway. You don't need extra stress to push them out even further.
That's exactly right.
You wake up in the morning and one foot hits the floor, and it takes a little while for the other foot to catch up, and all the body parts are not quite moved at the same time. It takes a little while. And the older you get, the more time it takes for them to get together. So you want something that's totally stress-free. And this is as close as I've found.
Very, very good. Very, very good. All right, folks. Well, you can go out and learn more about Fred, and also, of course, apply if you want to talk to him more at drfredrouse.com. That's drfredrouse.com. They've got a lot of information here. I haven't mentioned this before, but he has written articles in a number of places like Forbes and Newsweek and Wall Street Journal. He's been quoted in those places, and he's also been on a number of different channels. You can look at all of that. Of course, he is also a best-selling author as well. lots of information there. And if you want to learn more, then you can go right there. Hey, you got a new book coming out soon too. Is that right?
I've got 2 books I'm working on. I just finished one with, Lisa Nichols, this past year. Yeah. Well,
Awesome. Awesome.
if they go on the website, there's really a good thing in there on goal setting, on how to lead an iconic life, and that's a free report, and everybody should get that because it really helps with goal setting and
All right.
gets that focus in place.
Awesome. Yeah, because hey, and it's that time. Right here we are. We're at the end of 2024, and it's time for goal setting. So that's a great segue into that there. Very great information. All right. Any closing comments you want to make to the audience?
I think that if you do that grave to life planning, what's important to you when you go into the grave, all of a sudden now, you'll have an amazing amount of focus in your life, and a lot of the aggravations you have on a daily basis will drop off amazingly quickly when you focus on your bigger goal. And when you do that, write it down on a 3x5 card. Keep it with you all the time. Look at it first thing in the morning. Look at it before you leave the house. Look at it when you come back. Look at it at lunchtime. Look at it at dinner time. Look at it before you go to bed at night. That single focus will do amazing things to calm you down in a world of crazies.
Very, very good. All right. Thank you so much for being with us today, Fred. We do really appreciate it. Great information. I'm definitely going to reach out to you. Love to do an application, an interview, and see if we can do some business together, buddy.
I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm glad we can help your folks here.
Yep, absolutely. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Health and Wealth Power Hour. We appreciate you being here. Hope everyone has had a wonderful holiday season and a blessed 2025 to come. Appreciate you. Catch you next time. We are out of here.